Assalamualaikum and very good morning. We'll meet again for another semester. So some of you maybe masuk my classes. Investment planning dah masuk. Last semester we had banking. So we meet again this semester. But now we have investment portfolio. Okay, so don't get bored with me. Okay, just bear with me je lah. Let me see. Let's have a look. I think even though this is our second semester, second seminar, second class. Last week kita tak ada kelas public holiday and so to introduction. Okay, this is PFM3113 investment portfolio. This course basically like a continuation, okay, continuation from the investment planning that you did, I think 2 semesters ago. Whereby investment planning tu, kalau you all ingat, it was part of MFPC punya module, okay, RFP punya module. So this would be the, like I said, like continuation upon the advanced version of it. Okay, there will be some topics yang you dah pernah buat before. Alright, cuma kita akan revisit and also try to take a closer look in terms of how it will work. And obviously akan ada a lot more topics yang kita tak pernah discuss before lah, as compared to investment planning. Alright. Okay, so I guess you dah ada all of this information, nothing changed. My concepts and all my relevant information is still the same. Okay. Right. In terms of course description, I think better if I share with you the what you call the pro forma. Okay, I'm not sure. Pro forma ni dah, I think you all ada copy kan? Right, let me share. Okay, so this is a pro forma. You can download this in my guru as usual. So in terms of the content ataupun the synopsis of the course is it is offered to provide knowledge of current practices of investment portfolio, okay, and covers a lot of topics lah. When we talk about investment, all right, we focus more on the financial markets kind of investment. Okay, on top of that mungkin ada touch a bit pasal properties and whatnot, tapi the focus more is actually more the types of investment yang ada di financial market, okay, the financial asset lah. Okay, includes when we talk about capital market, obviously kita akan talks about bonds contohnya, which will be part of fixed income, and also equity, the shares, right? So dia adalah CLO kat dalam ni, go through nanti. So we have 14 weeks as usual. Okay, so sepatutnya week 1 and week 2 ni we will discuss the process, okay, the portfolio management process, which is the introduction part of this course. And then next week onwards, kita akan go through the analysis. Okay, 3 and 4 too is about risk and return, how to measure risk and return. First, we're going to look at the single security ataupun single investment, and then we focus on the portfolio risk and return. Okay, and then we have economic and industry analysis. Okay, ni dah masuk analysis from the national ataupun from the country's perspective together with the industry's perspective as well. Okay, so topik yang ke berapa ni? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the fourth topic ni is just a theory part, tak ada calculation. Then we have company analysis and evaluation, right? Then another non-calculation topic, equity portfolio management strategies. And then move on dengan bond analysis and valuation. Okay. Okay, so and the final topic yang tak ada calculation is bond portfolio management strategies. And then we have capital market theory, portfolio selection, and lastly, manage portfolio performance measurement. Okay, this is basically how to monitor our portfolio lah. So the topics is aligned ataupun we we assign the topic so according to the steps. Okay, later on topic number 1 kita akan go through what is the portfolio management process. Okay, but in terms of the sequence of this of the course ataupun the susunan dalam syllabus ni is actually according to the process. Okay, later on you will see lah what are the processes. Dia datang dengan he will start dengan how to create what we call as the policy statement. Okay, the first process to gather information related dengan objective of the investors. Is there any constraints and what will be their goals? Okay, then bila kita dah tahu the investors punya objectives dengan dia punya restriction, okay, then we move on dengan analysis. Okay, kita do a lot of analysis. That's why kita nampak tadi ada economic analysis, industry analysis, and then we go to the products itself. There's the bond analysis, equity analysis. And then after you do all the necessary analysis, we're going to select. Okay, that's why towards the end ni baru ada selection ni. So we're going to select what would be the best portfolio for the customer. And then finally, we're going to monitor. So that's why topik lah. Nombor 14 ni adalah how to monitor the performance of our portfolio. Okay, and we will, cover the rest of the process lah bila kita dah habiskan topik terakhir ni. I think altogether we have 11 topics. Okay, cuma ada some topics tu requires more than 1 week. Okay, in terms of the assessment, okay, this is typical cost for EE14 we have 60% ongoing assessment and 40% final exam. Okay, nothing changed there. Cuma in terms of the distribution, still the test will give you 20%. Okay, we're gonna have 1 midterm test. Okay, preferably within week 7 or week 8. And then we have dalam ni dia letak assignment individual, assignment group kan. Okay, so assignment individual ni selalunya what we do is based on individual quizzes. Okay, individual quizzes. So since we have a lot of topics for calculation, so what I'll do selalunya, the individual assignment tu quizzes dia is based on dia macam tutorial lah. I do the first part lecture tutorial, right, with some examples of a certain calculations, and then towards the end of the lesson, we're gonna have quiz lah. Okay, quiz with a different question. Okay, so 20% kat situ. So expect minimum 4, okay, minimum 4 quizzes or maximum 5 quizzes depending on the performance lah. Kalau semua buat okay je, so maybe I do just 4. Right, so kalau 4 tu maksudnya each quiz will give you 5% from 5 marks. Right, tapi kalau I buat 5 contohnya, it will be for each quiz lah. Right, so dah 40, so the final 20% is based on the group assignment. Okay, so group assignment ni, I haven't decided yet how I'm gonna do the group work for this semester. So yeah, I'll let you know later. Okay, I'll let you know later. So in terms of historical punya group work, among others, I've done investment game. Okay, investment game. Right, I've done ada sekali tu I buat scavenger hunt, but that one partnered with another lecturer lah untuk buat an event. Okay, kalau scavenger hunt tu masa tu just for one day dan habis semua lah. Okay, cuma preparation dia adalah preparation you have to do before the actual event happen. Tapi everything the activity itself will give you marks akan berakhir just within that particular one, not even one day, they actually half day. Okay, but kalau I buat investment game, for example, it will takes you at least 3 to 4 weeks. Selalunya 4 minggu lah kot. There'll be 4 weeks of investment game whereby you'll be divided into smaller groups, 4, 5 macam tu. And we're gonna play investment game, especially investment dalam saham, the shares market. Okay, we have a platform that we can use. So you need to invest in group basis, and the marks will be given based on profits. Okay, the profits that you generated, it will give you marks. Okay, and at the end, siapa yang paling generate a lot of profits might have a bonus marks ni tu lah, right? So nanti I will update you what will happen lah. But anyway, it will give you 20% there. So total 60%, and the final exam, as always, 40%. Okay, so it's gonna be 3 hours exam. Okay, 3 hours exam, and yeah,
Saya ada
yeah.
soalan.
Apa soalan ni?
Kalau final tu boleh jadi macam ada kebarangkalian tak untuk jadi final assessment?
Memang as of now tak ada. Terus
Kosong persen.
1% lah ada tak.
Persen.
Never rule out anything kan. Tapi as of now memang sebab this is paper investment kan. So most likely kita akan buat final exam as always lah.
Okay.
Right. Right, thank you for the question. Another reminder untuk item nombor 10 tu special requirement. Dia sebenarnya tak tahu lah special requirement tak, tapi we need to put this information somewhere in the performa. So and we saw this empty space selalunya bila ada kepulauan khas ni, kalau dulu kita letak dia ada kan. But as a reminder untuk AE14 AE14, all the business related programs, okay, kat fakulti kita ada 2 je yang business related, which is kita AE14 BBA Financial Services, and we have another one from another department, okay, BBA Human Resource. Okay, so we shared this so-called, sebab kita BBA, kita follow business punya program standard lah. MQA ada program standards ya. So we have to comply with the standards untuk dapat pengiktirafan MQA lah. So one of the criteria in the program standard is about this one. Okay, last semester pun kita dah start sebenarnya last semester untuk kita punya programs, cuma mungkin tak biasa and need to remind again. Right, the MQA document stated this, okay, kata student must pass both the continuous assessment component and the final assessment in the course. Okay, final assessment ni can be again final assessment or final exam. Okay, so dia kena lulus both continuous assessment, okay, yang dekat atas ni 60% ni, and also final assessment 40%. Right, untuk paper-paper major, okay, check juga your result masing-masing When we talk about major punya courses, you kena dapat at least C. Okay, kena dapat C and above lah. Untuk paper-paper teras, maybe D and above dah di-consider lulus. Okay, D tu 40 kalau salah saya, 40 and above lah. Untuk teras. But for, 35 kot. Check balik lah D and above. But for major courses, right? All your modules, for example, and then kita ada banking lah, kita ada apa ni? This one portfolios lah. We have you guys have corporate finance later, contohnya. Semua tu adalah major courses, and all major courses you kena dapat C. Okay, kena dapat C at least. Right, agak confusing. If you ask me, kalau I have the chance, I nak buat semua je standard, semua C and above je lulus. Okay, to make it higher standard. Tapi as of now, memang yang teras D lulus. Untuk major C. Right, so when we talk about C, technically the total marks will be 50 lah. Okay, 50. Dan ke atas baru lulus. So 50 equivalent to 50% lah, 50%. So meaning technically if you read this as it is macam ni je, student must pass both the continuous dengan final assessment. So kalau nak dapat 50 contohnya 50%, so technically you need to get both parts 50% each baru dapat 50 untuk lulus dua-dua sepatutnya lah based on this statement alone. So sepatutnya for example the continuous assessment kalau 50% daripada 60, 30 lah at least, right? So 30 per 60 for a continuous assessment is I think very very highly likely untuk didapat sebab selalunya out of 60 ni, okay, 90% of you akan dapat range dia between 40 to 50 lah your carry mark selalunya, right? 40 to 50. Ada yang mungkin akan cross the 50, 50 marks. Okay, dapat 52, 53. Yeah, it's possible. Kita tak ramai. Okay, majority 40 to 50. And mungkin ada juga some of you yang maybe did poorly in your test and whatever, your marks akan jatuh bawah 40, maybe 36, 37, 38, whatever. Okay, itu pun minority. Okay, so ada dua minority yang both ends lah, yang lower than 40 and slightly above 50. Tapi like I said, 90% or above, about 40 to 50. So it will comply lah, basically sebab minimum 30 per 60 contohnya lah kalau kita ambil 50%. Okay, but the issue is if we look at the final exam ni, 40% ni, meaning you have to get 20 kat sini. Sebab atas ni tadi 30 kan. So bawah ni 20. So 20 over 40 is technically again 50%. So 50% masa final exam kita ada 100 markah punya exams. So you need to get 50 contohnya lah, right? 50 over 100. Okay. If we implement this kind of rules yang ada continuous assessment kena pass, final assessment pun kena pass, I think walaupun like I said 90% tadi yang dah and a bit kalau kita ambil yang 50 and above tu juga, so about 95% pun dah dapat 40 and above, okay, which is higher than 30 lah. In fact kalau ikutkan yang dapat 38, 37 tu pun dah lepas 40, so technically I can say 100% dah pass continuous assessment. But if we implement the 50% in the final, maknanya kena dapat 50 dan ke atas, I think to be honest with you, okay, during the final exam, apa lah, maybe 20% je kot, 20-25% je yang above 50. Some yang really excellent boleh dapat 90, 80 masa final exam. I don't deny that ada je yang memang excel during the final exam. Tapi majority bila continuous tinggi, tapi bila final exam tu dia punya markah tu turun very drastically. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Either lack of preparation, selalunya itulah lack of preparation. So kebanyakannya dapat average lah about 40 over 100. Okay, range bawah 50 tu besar lah. Range 30 ke 40 tu kebanyakannya akan ada kat situ. Right? So if we implement 50-50 lulus tu, then percentage of repeaters will be high, really high. Okay, yeah, so that's why we need to strategize juga lah. So what we do for time being, mungkin juga in the future kita akan buat juga regardless, but for time being, for you guys especially. Okay, kita kena baca additional information ni lah. Maklumat tambahan. Okay. In terms of the continuous assessment, how we measure you pass ataupun tidak tadi tu is by having this information. Okay, students are required to complete all coursework sets in a course. Failure to complete all will cause the students to fail. Okay, so the failure in terms of the continuous assessment is actually based on the completion of the coursework. So that's why last semester ada je your friends yang tak sure kelas ni kelas satu lagi test pun tak buat after week berapa dah 12, 13 and I have to chase them. Okay, sebab kalau tak buat test tu technically you fail. Okay, you fail the continuous assessment. Okay, regardless of the marks berapa yang you dapat. Okay, so failure ataupun if you fail the continuous assessment, okay, sebab you kena lulus dulu kan, remember the earlier punya rules tadi, you have to pass both. So if you fail continuous assessment, okay, why you go to final exam kan? Sebab you dah memang fail anyway. So that's why the other statement dia kata, if the course have final exam ataupun final assessment, student who fail continuous assessment will be prevented. Right, so last semester tak ada. Okay, kita hanya bar student yang attendance lah. Okay, ada some of you yang hampir je nak kena bar, I almost je nak bar tapi tak pernah. But yeah, next time around memang kalau your attendance poor memang kena bar. And secondly, if ada je missing coursework, you can be barred as well. So bar tu bukan hanya untuk attendance, bar juga pada siapa yang tak complete the coursework lah. Okay, the continuous assessment. Tak kira lah tak buat test ke, tak buat quiz ke, group work tak buat ke. So any of those kalau tak complete even single ataupun you know just one, then you are technically can be barred from the final exam. Okay, walaupun markah you mungkin dah dapat 30 contohnya lah, over 60. Okay, so that's continuous assessment. And for the final exam, syarat dia mudah je, you need to attend. So this one tak ada issue lah, last semester semua attend je the final exam. And need to obtain minimum passing mark. So maknanya minimum passing mark ni berapa tadi? Sebab major courses 50 kan. So you need to get 50 lah combined, continuous and the final exam, just like before. So maknanya kita totalkan continuous assessment, let's say dapat 40, and final exam you dapat 10 per 40, which is final you 25 over 100 sahaja. Then you will be considered pass. Okay. So this is the rules ataupun the guideline that we are using now. Okay, as of now. So we don't have any intention to change as of now. Cuma mungkin bila kita buat revision of the program in the future, mungkin kita akan consider balik lah. Okay, nanti ada new guideline daripada MQA ke that specify bila kata pass both ni maknanya dua-dua kena dapat certain marks, and then that's a different story lah. But for you guys, that's how it works, at least for this semester. Alright, ada soalan?
Tak ada, Doktor.
Alright.
So far, so good, Doctor.
Okay, thank you. So that's the introduction part. Okay, so let's look at the first topic. Okay, ni dah tadi Alright, so for the first topic is about portfolio management process. Okay, but before we go through the process, I would like to revisit, but this is investment portfolio. So technically, we are still looking from investment perspective. So kita nak ingatkan semula what is investment is all about. Okay, so investment by definition, okay, is current commitment of your money. So since kita kat Malaysia, usually we use ringgit lah. So your commitment of your money, okay, for a period of time, okay, in order to derive future payments that will compensate a few things actually. Right? So let's say you have 10,000 ringgit, for example. Okay, you have 10,000 ringgit today. So you can do a lot of things with 10,000. Okay, macam boleh buat 10,000 hari ni. You can go shopping. Okay, nak raya dekat ni, 10,000 macam-macam boleh beli. You can use it untuk holiday, contohnya. Okay, or spend lah basically on whatever things that you want to buy. Okay. However, when we talk about investment, you can sacrifice. Okay, instead of you use that money for your own personal consumption, okay, tak kira lah to purchase goods ataupun services ataupun go holidays, whatever. You have to put aside that 10,000 and put it in an investment. Okay, investment ni ada macam-macam lah. It can be unit trust, it can be shares, it can be crypto, even cryptocurrency, if you want to consider it as investment. Yeah. So instead of you spend, you kena simpan. Okay, with the expectation yang you put aside ni will generate higher returns. Okay, generate higher returns. Why we need to generate higher returns? Because of this lah, to compensate the sacrifice yang you buat. Okay, what kind of sacrifice? You instead of you spend, okay, you patutnya boleh buat macam-macam dengan 10,000 tu, but you have to sacrifice and rely on something in the future lah. Cuma when we talk about investment, whatever amount ataupun whatever expectation that we try to achieve, okay, in terms of the returns in the future, it always comes with a risk. Okay, there will be some risk involved lah. Okay, in the investment. So selalunya in the general investment akan ada types of investment yang risiko dia rendah. Some might be higher than the rest. Okay, so as an investor, you need to basically define yourself as either you guys are a risk taker kind of investor ataupun you adalah investor yang willing to take some risk ataupun you are try to mengelak, which is the risk averse type of investor. Okay, kita akan go through that later lah. Okay, so who are the investors? Right, who are the investors? In economy, selalunya kita akan classify the parties in the economic activities kepada tiga. Right, we have the individuals. Okay, ataupun selalunya kita letak kalau dalam ekonomi we label them as household. And then we have the corporates. And then we have the governments. Okay, we have the government. So ada tiga pihak ni lah. And all three parties, okay, sama macam sebelum ni lah, when we talk about banking, kita cerita pasal fund yang flows from one party to another, the surplus dengan deficit parties punya fund movement. Okay, so investor pun sama. Okay, investor ni technically those yang surplus. Okay, those yang ada extra funds, ada extra money, those would be the investors lah sebab dia ada duit lebihan. So they need to put their money somewhere. Okay, so for individuals, these are the types of investment yang selalunya they use. Okay, in the stock market, right? In Malaysia we have Bursa Malaysia, okay, Bursa Malaysia equities, the stock market. They can invest in bonds as well. Okay, and then we have commodities. So commodities ni contohnya macam gold, for example. Gold tu is part of commodities as well. Commodities pun boleh letak kat situ. Right, and lastly, real estates, properties, okay, rumah and whatnot. So untuk stocks, bond, commodities, semua ni sebenarnya, especially ni lah stock dengan bond ni, selalunya in Bursa Malaysia. Okay, dia ada dia punya kategori sendiri lah. Okay, tapi real estates ni, for example, is open market. You can buy properties from any property agents ataupun developers contohnya, and you can purchase the property for your investment. Right? So untuk stocks, untuk bonds contohnya, your income, right? Your income can come in few ways. Okay, your income can come from the dividend ataupun interest that you receive. Okay, tapi untuk yang lain ni, dia tak ada income dari segi in terms of interest ataupun dividend. For real estates ataupun properties, you beli rumah. Okay, how you want to generate income from this? Okay, selalunya for properties ataupun real estates, the income can come, one, if you are willing to rent it out. You bagi sewa. Okay, and the rental that you receive is yang you can generate monthly will be your income. Okay, but it will take a while before you can recover back the cost lah. Okay, sebab kalau you beli rumah RM500,000 and then you rent out at, let's say, I don't know, RM2,000 per month, so it will take a while for you to get back your money. Okay, but the other way for real estates to get profits, okay, quicker one ataupun quicker way to get your profits faster is by speculating, bukan speculate macam ni maknanya you purchase the house at a cost, let's say RM500,000 tadi, and after a few years, again, still you have to wait for a few years at least, when the price of the property appreciates, okay, harga rumah tu naik, then you sell it. Okay, you sell it off for a profit. Okay, so you akan cover balik your costs together with a certain amount of profit depending on your take lah, berapa banyak you nak. Okay, but you have to take into consideration all the costs involved lah, sebab bila nak cerita pasal property punya buy and sell ni, it involve a lot of costs. Dia ada cost nak kena bayar legal fees, kena cost bayar stamp duties to the government. So there's a lot cost involved lah. Okay, and it is not cheap. Okay, sebab dia selalunya in percentage of the whole value of the property, so it will be huge, right? So that's individuals. Okay, you can add some more investment lah, unit trust pun boleh, like I said tadi, cryptocurrency pun boleh, derivatives pun boleh. Okay, so all of those are types of investment that individuals typically will invest in. Okay, next we have corporates and government. Okay, so to be honest with you, corporate, government, ataupun specifically corporate lah, corporates, they can invest juga sebenarnya in stocks, bonds and whatnot. They really invest in this kind of investment. Okay, but on top of that, they akan focus on their operation. Okay, especially kalau company itu involved in producing goods, okay, ataupun sometimes services, obviously they need to invest in their assets. Okay, they can invest in their assets. So what kind of assets as a company? Obviously, they can ada equipment, for example. They can ada machineries kalau company to produce goods, macam cakap tadi. And if they produce goods, they need to have a proper place in terms of plants, warehouse, contohnya. So all of this requires money, requires fund. And as a company, they have to invest in this in order for these equipments, these machineries to generate returns. Okay, so as individual, kita tak invest lah. Buat apa kita nak invest equipment, machineries, unless we own our own business kan, right? So, tapi untuk corporates or even government yang set up their business units, okay, they have to invest in this kind of assets, which will generate income as well for them. Okay, so that's the investors lah that we have. Cuma kalau kita nak tengok investors from corporates or government yang invest in the financial markets yang I mentioned tadi, okay, tak bawa pen sekarang ni, but you can jot down. Okay, corporates ataupun government related companies yang involve a lot in the investment, especially the stock market ataupun even the bond markets, kita ada the largest one is EPF. Okay, EPF tu akan masuk dalam, EPF ni set by government kan, so dia macam partial government, partial corporates. Right, so EPF is the largest investors, especially in the stock market. Okay, because they have billions of money, okay, idle for them to invest. Sebab EPF needs to pay out dividends to their members. Okay, semua members of EPF, siapa yang mencarum EPF, expect to receive dividend every year. Okay, and it's part of the punya constitution lah. Dia kena bagi dividend to the members. Cuma dia tak cakap berapa persen lah. Let me check yang recent, yang baru di announce few weeks ke few months ago. PF Okay. Right, so for, saya tak ingat yang non-syariah sebab EPF pun dia ada syariah accounts dengan non-syariah accounts. So up to you nak invest in which part. Kalau originally semua satu account je, but then they decided to come out with the syariah compliant punya account. So those yang from the original can convert into the syariah. So I'm one of those yang convert lah daripada yang original punya EPF account, and then I shifted my fund to the syariah punya account. Okay, so 2023 dia punya rate of dividend is about 5.4%. So maknanya kat sini EPF dia ada duit that they pull from all the members, including my money contohnya lah. So they have to invest. Dia kena invest lah. Some dia invest dalam stock market, some dia invest dalam bond, which is fixed income. And then dia mungkin invest in overseas. We know EPF memang invest a lot overseas as well. Okay, dekat UK ke whatnot. In order to generate high return. So bila dia generate return, some portion of the return dia kena bagi dividend. So that's why bila kita tengok return is about 5.4%. So obviously the actual return of their investment will be much higher than that. Sebab dia kena take into consideration lah berapa persen yang dia kena simpan as a reserve, berapa persen for their operations, and a chunk of that profit dia kena bayar kepada members. So last year yang syariah 5.4%. Okay, 5.4%. Kalau tak salah saya yang conventional is slightly higher. Okay, selalunya yang conventional memang slightly higher lah sebab dia boleh invest anywhere. Okay, dia tak ada restriction duit tu dia nak invest kat mana. So their returns will be higher, termasuk yang non-syariah punya activities. Tapi untuk syariah memang dia akan fokus investment dia dengan syariah compliant investment saja. Right, so later on when you work, those yang syariah sensitive, siapa yang nak invest in syariah compliant, make sure pilih EPF account tu yang syariah punya account. Okay, even though it's the return for time being is slightly lower as compared to the conventional punya account, but you know the money is invested in syariah manner. Okay, that's the most important part lah. Okay, so itulah investor corporates. Okay, kita ada apa tadi saya cakap, EPF, and we also have others yang besar lah dekat Malaysia. Kita ada Khazanah lah, kita ada KWAP for those yang government servants, okay, pun invest juga because they need to generate returns. So, because they have a lot of money, so takkan dia nak invest dekat bank saja. Okay, so they have to invest somewhere else that give higher returns. So what do investors expect in return? So tak ada siapa yang invest without any expectation untuk dapat pulangan. Okay, tak ada siapa yang nak simpan 10,000 expect, okay, tak apalah 10,000 tahun depan, 10,000 ni will remain 10,000, that's good enough for me. Okay, tak tu baik kita simpan kat rumah je tu, walaupun it's not a good idea, but selalunya ataupun most of the time investors will expect some returns. Okay, cuma high or low tu depending on each
Apa dia?
investors lah. Okay, each investors.
Tu dah ambil.
Okay,
Tu
tolong
dah
mute sikit. Siti Soleha boleh tak mute? Oh, I kena mute kan. Sekejap. Okay. I want to stop tadi. Yeah, returns. Positive returns, obviously. Okay. So what kind of positive returns we are talking about? Okay, ada beberapa jenis returns or income that we can gain when we talk about investment. Okay, number one is in the form of price appreciation. Okay, tak semesti stock lah. It can be anything, any types of investment that have fluctuations in price. Okay, kalau ada perubahan harga untuk sesuatu investment tu, there's always positivity untuk dapatkan price appreciation. Okay, what does it mean by price appreciation? You know, depreciate to susut nilai kan. So appreciate, harga ataupun nilai of a certain investment tu will increase in the future. Again, kita letak stock kat sini, kita boleh ambil example of stock tu lah. Right? You purchase a stock, okay, yang jual pada harga, let's say RM1.50 per unit. Okay, and after a while, the price increased to RM1.70. Okay, dari RM1.50 naik to RM1.70. So naik 20 cents per unit. Okay, so multiply lah dengan berapa unit yang you ada. And that will be your price appreciation punya returns. Okay, but that's only on paper lah. Okay, sebab you beli 150 and then naik 170, 180, whatever. Technically, you gain something. Okay, but as of now, it's just on paper. Okay, because apa? When we talk about price appreciation, the return only can be realized. Okay, you only can gain ataupun you can enjoy the returns. Okay, if you sell the investment. So kalau stock ni tadi, if you sell the stock, baru you dapat return. So meaning tadi, you beli RM1.50, and in order for you to enjoy the 20 cents punya return tu, at 170 tadi, you have to sell the stocks. Okay, baru you dapat return. Similarly, kalau I cerita tadi pasal rumah kan, 500,000 you beli. Okay, and after a few years, the price appreciates. Okay, sometimes bila dia jual, launch, rumah tu harga X amount of ringgit lah. Once the project completed after 2-3 years, okay, sometimes if the property is in a good place, in a good location, the price can appreciate very fast. Okay, because of the demand. Okay, kawasan tu dekat dengan transportation punya hub, I don't know, LRT ada, lepas tu dekat dengan all the amenities yang lain, good schools, near shopping areas and whatnot. So mungkin menyebabkan the demand for that area increase and can cause the price to appreciate just after rumah tu siap dibina lah. Okay, so meaning if you purchase at 500,000, so after it's completed, after 2 years for example, naik jadi 530,000. Similar macam stock tadi, on paper you dapat lah the returns. Okay, but if you want to enjoy the return, if you want to get that money, that profit, you have to sell. Okay, so the price appreciation ni memang you akan nampak on paper. However, if you want to enjoy the money, enjoy the profits, okay, rule dia, you have to sell. Okay, you have to sell, then you get the money, the returns. Okay, so that's number one. positive future returns. Number one, stock price appreciation ataupun price appreciation in general. And then number 2 dengan number 3 ni sama je lah. Depending on products, dividend dengan interest. Some instruments bayar dividend, some mungkin bayar interest. Okay, contohnya dividend ni macam unit trust, stocks juga will give you dividend. So what happened? Every year selalunya ataupun untuk stocks for example, every quarter in fact. Okay, untuk stock dia akan bayar dividend dia every quarter. Right, we have 4 quarters 4 suku setahun, 4 quarters. So selalunya the companies of the stocks ni tadi will give out dividends every quarter. So kalau price appreciation tadi, in order for you to enjoy the returns, you have to sell. Kan? Tapi untuk dividend or even interest, you only can gain this if you hold the instruments. Okay, you kena ada instrument pada saat tu untuk you enjoy the returns. Okay, dividend or even interest. So for stocks, just now I said, dia bayar you for quarters. So every quarters dia bayar, katakanlah March dia bayar, so March, June, March, June, September, December contohnya lah. So every quarter dia bayar an X amount of dividend. So in order for you to enjoy the dividend payment tu, you tak boleh jual. Kalau tadi price appreciation, you have to sell in order for you to enjoy the returns. Tapi dividends, you have to hold. You have to hold it. Hold the investment for you to enjoy. So selagi you pegang selagi you pegang the investment, that's when you will receive your dividend payment. Okay, so that's why those yang hold all the we call the blue chip punya investment ataupun blue chip punya, kalau kita cerita pasal stock, blue chip punya stocks jarang dia orang jual. Okay, kalau kat US tu dia ada FANGs punya stocks yang people invest, dia tak jual. FANGS, FANGs. Ya, tak ingat semua, tapi ada F Facebook, ada Apple, N tu Netflix tu kalau tak salah, FAN, N tu Netflix, G tu Google, and ada ingat satu lagi apa, S. Okay, Amazon pun patutnya masuk dalam tu, mungkin dia double A, I tak ingat spelling, but yeah, Apple, Amazon. So those companies that we invest, selalunya kita tak jual. We don't purchase that stocks untuk price appreciation, sebab price ni memang always appreciate. Okay, mungkin dia akan turun naik as always, tapi in the long run, it will always appreciate, tapi jarang orang akan jual that price, that stocks lah. So they will wait for the dividend payment je setiap quarter tu to enjoy the returns. Okay, and untuk interest income ni pula, untuk other types of investment, for example, bond. Okay, bond akan bayar coupon in the form of interest. So kita akan dapat interest income every year. Okay, and the return kalau untuk bond for example, it will be fixed return. Okay, return dia tak berubah. Kita akan dapat X amount of ringgit setiap tahun consistently selama mana you hold the investment, macam cakap tadi lah. Okay, so that's dividend dengan interest. And lastly, there is certain tax benefits. Okay, some investment, this is especially kalau investment you relates dengan machineries ataupun involved in the projects that maybe align dengan national agenda. Okay, government mungkin kata, okay, tahun ni kita nak improve ataupun we want to increase our focus on green energy contohnya. So those company yang involve beli machineries with the green energy will receive tax incentive, okay, pengecualian cukai contohnya ataupun pengurangan cukai. So that's benefits from the reduction of tax ataupun the exemption of tax altogether will become their returns. So return ni bukan datang dalam bentuk perubahan harga, bukan datang dalam bentuk interest ataupun dividend, but it's more on the tax incentive. Okay, so itu pun boleh digunakan sebagai indicator for returns for the for the so-called investor lah. Okay, it can be individual or it can be corporate or government. Now, tu semua tadi sebenarnya is just about investment, and you're supposed to know that based on the previous courses lah. Okay, especially investment planning. Right, but for our case, this course untuk semester ni, portfolio management. Okay, what does it mean? It is a set of securities. Okay, when we talk about investment portfolio, it is actually a set of securities. So keyword dia kat sini adalah set. A set. Okay, maksudnya kat sini dia tak boleh satu asset saja. It must be multiple assets. It can be two minimum or it can be anything more than two lah. Okay, it's a set of securities or even assets which helps to spread the risk. Okay, so this is another keyword. The purpose of investment portfolio is to spread the risk. Okay, so the common ataupun the most popular idioms when we talk about portfolio management ataupun the investment in general is this one. You kena ingat ni. Don't put all the eggs in one basket. Okay, so that's the idiom yang kita gunakan when we talk about investment, especially portfolio lah. Right? Don't put all the eggs, okay, telur ayam tu, in one basket. Okay, kita kena pecah ataupun kita kena asingkan into separate containers ataupun separate basket. Because if you put everything in one basket, so if that basket fall, okay, high chance that all the eggs in one basket tu akan crack. Okay, so in order to avoid that to happen, kita kena kita panggil dia diversify. We have to diversify. Reason being kenapa kita diversify is to spread the risk. Remember when we talk about risk, especially in investment, we cannot eliminate 100% the risk. The risk is always be there. Okay, but we can minimize it. Kita boleh mengurangkan risiko tu ataupun we can mitigate the risk. So how to mitigate? Okay, the most common technique is by diversifying. Kita kena pecahkan lah. We spread the investment into separate different asset classes with the intention that if one of the investment decline in values, okay, so the other investment can support the impact from the decline of your investment yang pertama tadi. Right, so the other investment mungkin akan remain the same at least, or can appreciate juga to support, like I said, the impact from the decline of our initial investment yang pertama tadi. Okay, so portfolio management is to handle a pool of funds for the purpose of investment which is consistent with the investor's preference and also attitude towards risk. Okay, ni actually bila cerita pasal preference dengan attitude towards risk ni, it's part of your portfolio management process kejap lagi. So kita kena comply ataupun kita try to align customer ataupun investors punya preference and dia punya risk punya appetite lah, sama ada dia tu sanggup risiko ataupun tak, and then kita try to match dia punya preference and attitude towards risk dengan the investment yang sesuai for them. So this part of portfolio management process juga. So expect to receive a return consistent with the risk of the portfolio. Okay, and when we do portfolio management, usually the overall risk factor will decline ataupun will be reduced. So bila kita dapat meminimaliskan risiko, obviously we try to generate an acceptable amount of returns with the risk that we are taking. Okay, because as I said earlier, setiap jenis investment that available in the market is not the same amount of risk. Okay, ada some investment yang memang risiko rendah, really low, or even sometimes ada satu dua jenis investment je yang we can consider them as a zero risk ataupun risk-free types of investment. Okay, tapi kebanyakan types of investment yang give us good returns, you have to take some element of risk. Okay, cuma ada yang medium and some may be higher. Okay, right. So for the portfolio management process, we have kat sini kita boleh tengok lah, ada 4 steps. Okay, jadi kita go through in detail. We have number 1 to set up the objectives. Okay, set up objectives, and also like I said tadi, to have a policy statement. And second step is more on the analysis side to develop the strategies, and then we monitor and review. Okay, but don't use this one when we talk about portfolio management process. Kita follow this process. Step number 1 is to construct a policy statement. Okay, whereby in the policy statement, we have to specify the goals, the objectives of the investor. Okay, to make it easier for you to understand, when I said portfolio management process, sebenarnya dia manage investors fund. So the investors can be yourself. Okay, can be yourself. Kita manage our own fund, our own money, but for those yang in the line of agency, as advisor, financial advisor, financial planner and whatnot, you can manage other people's fund as well. Okay, you boleh manage other people's money. Right? So, untuk proses ni nak bagi faham, imagine yourself as a financial planner or financial advisor. Okay? And you are collecting information from your client. Okay, from your client. So that's why we need to know what are the goals of the client. Okay, short-term basis, medium-term, and also long-term. Okay, selalunya when we talk about investment goals, kita kena tahulah short-term dia nak invest ataupun dia try to get what? What is the investment goal dia? Okay, bila dia invest, dia punya return tu sebenarnya untuk apa? Okay, what is the purpose? Okay, and we need to know as well what are the risk levels that this person ataupun the client willing to take. So we need to declare ataupun we need to, put this as a priority. Kita kena tahu ni at the very beginning so that we don't have any dispute in the future. Okay, so first thing, kita kena lay the foundation. We need to know what is your intention, your goals, and then how much risk you are willing to take. So how to know this? Okay. For you guys, kalau kita go back to your degree and also your certification later on, you all aware, hopefully dah semester 6 ni sepatutnya aware lah, right? Your degree is a special degree as compared to the rest yang ada dekat even dalam universiti ni, whereby you gonna get 2 certifications. Satu tu degree, and satu lagi you gonna have a professional certificates. And the professional certificates is the Registered Financial Planner, the RFP from the MFPC that we just signed the extension last year. Okay, so what happened? Next semester 7 nanti, you're gonna have the module 7. Okay, module 7 tu is the final module for the MFPC lah. For the RFP, Registered Financial Planner. So RFP ni ada 7 modul. The first 6 modules will be exempted if you pass the 6 courses yang you dah ambil sepanjang you belajar kat sini lah. So ada 6 modules. Ada fundamental of financial planning lah, ada insurance and takaful, ada zakat and tax, ada investment planning, ada estate planning, ada retirement planning. So ada 6 yang kalau you pass dapat C and above will be exempted. So you kena apply lah. Sem depan you akan apply together with your transcripts and your details untuk dapat exemption. So you dapat exemption 6 modul lah. So kalau orang buat ni dekat luar, they have to sit for all 7 modules one by one, lulus semua ni, and together with the module 7 baru you dapat RFP. But for you guys yang the first 6 tu you dah complete masa you belajar. Okay, you pass here, dapat C at least, consider you dapat exemption lah. 6. So sepatutnya memang kena lulus dapat C pun sebab memang that's requirement for major. Okay, sebab kalau dapat C and below, you have to mengulang. Right, so assuming you pass semua, okay dah dapat C exemption. So there's one final module that you have to take. Module 7, okay, the applications. And dalam application tu, ada dua elements. First, you need to prepare a written report. Okay, and second, you need to sit for the exam. Okay, the exam. Right. This happened in semester 7. Okay, masih semester mana? Next semester lah. Okay, semester 7. Whereby in order for you, ataupun in order to help you to prepare for the exam, there'll be few things lah to what we always do. Number one, kita ada satu khusus that match to module 7. Okay, cuma that module is not exempted lah. The course is just to help you, to guide you how to do the module 7. Okay, financial plan, kalau tak salah saya nama dia, that you're gonna take next semester, and usually Dr. Aisyah yang ajar. And you have that for the whole semester, 14 minggu as always, to guide you. And on top of that, MNPC will send their lecturers as well. So their lecturer ni can be anybody lah sebenarnya, from the industry ataupun from the other universities. For a crash course within, selalunya dulu 5 hari ya, but last semester kalau ada your senior kat sini pun, they crash it ataupun they cramp it everything within 3 days. Okay lah, dulu 5 hari dia dah kurangkan kepada 3 hari, but next semester tak sure, nanti kita tengok lah. MNPC yang akan decide, okay, kita akan buat 3 full days ataupun 5 full days of bengkel or training for you to prepare for the exam and also for the return report. So dalam return report tu is the actual financial plan. Okay, actual financial plan. And dalam financial plan tu adalah satu dokumen yang dipanggil fact finding sheets. Okay, let me share with you sekejap. Okay, one of the document is called fact finding sheet. This one. Okay, I tak sure you pernah tengok ke tak, but you're gonna see it anyway, at least next semester. This semester tak sure lah kalau you ada ambil apa-apa module, dia pernah share or not. So this is the document, the initial document as a medium for you to collect information. Okay, untuk cari information, especially from your client lah. Okay, adalah information kat dalam ni, so dia kena letak lah all the client punya particulars, information dia punya status dia punya relationship dengan ada spouse, ada children, dependents and whatnot. Alright, the income. Okay, so ni you dah belajar dulu kan dalam fundamental, how to prepare the cash flows, the balance sheet. So kita kena kira lah ni. Kita kena list down all the information for us to determine. Basically, why we have this is to measure the gap between apa yang dia ada sekarang and apa yang dia expect nak ada. So kita as a financial planner is basically to assist this client to reach the goals. Cuma kita kena be very realistic lah. Tak boleh lah kita nak duit dia ada X amount, tiba-tiba kata within 5 years nak jadi millionaire. So kalau sekarang ada 10,000 nak jadi millionaire dalam 5 tahun tu, it's not impossible, I know, but you have to be realistic. Okay, especially dengan apa yang you buat sekarang ni lah. Right. So what I want to share is this one. Okay, the financial goals. Okay, dalam step number 1 tadi is to specify the goals and also the objectives of the investor. So kat sini, we can see dia specify ataupun dia label the objectives into three. We have short term, which is less than 3 years, medium term between 3 to 7 years, and the long term objectives, which is anything more than 7 years. And obviously, kalau I suruh semua orang kat dalam kelas ni isi benda ni, so everybody will have different goals altogether. Apa yang you nak dalam masa 3 tahun. Okay, imagine lah lagi 3 tahun termasuk you insyaAllah akan graduate. Let's say katalah another 1.5 years. Lepas tu nak masuk, and then you kerja kan. So, when you start working, obviously ada benda yang you nak achieve in short term basis. And then you have something else for the medium term between 3 to 7, and obviously you have something else juga lah that you need to consider for long term. Okay, so how to get information ni? By having this document untuk kita gather information. So that's why step number 1 tadi, kita boleh hand out this document ataupun kita boleh tolong isikan. And then we know lah what is the objectives of the client. And on top of that tadi, selain daripada tahu dia punya goals objective, we need to know dia punya risk level kan. So how to know the risk level ataupun the acceptance towards risk. So dalam financial ni, dia pun ada cerita pasal ni pun masuk dalam goals jugalah. Dia nak prioritize yang mana yang penting. Dia ada risk profile. Okay, so this is another section untuk gather information related dengan risk. So we have a short questionnaire that we can ask the investors or the clients how their perception when any of this happen. Okay, so by knowing what would be their reactions ataupun their perceptions toward the certain things, kita boleh profilekan dia lah sebab sama dia seorang yang low risk taker ataupun kita panggil dia risk averse. Adakah dia risk indifferent, dia tak kisah risk tinggi ke risk rendah, ataupun dia risk takers kind of attitude. Okay, so untuk soalan ataupun for this questionnaire, we have 6 questions. Okay, 6 soalan yang mudah je nak jawab. First is about time horizon, investment time horizon. So when we talk about investment, everybody will have different time horizon. Ada yang nak invest short term, ada yang medium, ada yang long term. Okay, so kat sini kita boleh determine lah. So dia nak invest short term ke, setahun ke, 5 tahun ataupun 10 tahun. Alright, so we can ask about if you hear unexpected or adverse or bad financial news, what you gonna do? You buat tak tahu je ke? Sometimes you overreact, or you always overreact. You are very sensitive when you hear bad financial news lah in the market. Something happen in the market, then kalau ada news something, you akan do something with your investment contohnya. So dia tanya juga perception, if you have a 25% return, what you do? You buat tak tahu je ke, you jual ke, ataupun you jual semua. So there's 6 questions kat sini, and each answer will give you points. Okay, will give you points. So what the points represent? Okay, so setiap satu jawapan A, B, or C will give you 1, 2, and 3 points. And when you combine all questions, right, you give you total marks, okay, total score. So if you score between 6 to 10, you are low risk profile. Okay, kalau 11 to 15, medium risk. And if you are, kalau you jawab semua 6, okay, if you you jawab semua C, for example, C to 3 marks, yeah. So 6 times 3, 18. So you range kat sini. So you're gonna be a high risk investor. So why we need to know this? You low risk, medium risk, high risk. As I said, we want to match. You want to match your profile dengan the types of investment yang suitable for you. So tak boleh lah kalau katakan when we profile you, alright, you are low risk taker. You score 7 contohnya, or 8. Okay, So if you punya profile is a low risk profile, kita tak boleh lah suggest kita punya client, okay, kita akan invest majority of your money in the stock market, 80% dekat stock market. So tak compatible lah. It's not suits the profile of your client ataupun the profile of the investor. Sebab low risk taker ni, dia tak nak expose their money to those yang ada potential untuk return. Ada potential untuk loss in terms of returns. So stock market expose you to that risk. Okay, so tak sesuai. You boleh invest in stock market, tetapi mungkin percentage dia rendah. Daripada 100% total fund, mungkin 10-20% je dekat stock market. Tapi majority of the money, kita akan investkan dia dekat investment yang what we call as secure ataupun safe kind of investment lah. Cuma for low risk type of investor, they cannot expect high return lah. Kena be frank at the very beginning. Dia kena very clear, transparent kat situ lah. Okay, so itu je lah. Macam yang lain ni you belajar dekat khusus yang lain. Alright, so let's go back to the slide. Yep. So once you conducted the surveys, you receive all the information, you can construct, like I said lah, the policy statement. Okay, in fact sebenarnya pada sheet tadi pun sebenarnya dah boleh di-consider sebagai policy statement jugalah sebab dia ada information ni. However, this policy statement should be reviewed and revised periodically. So dia tak, bila kita dah buat policy statement ni, dia bukan bermaksud it will be fixed throughout the time, tak. Kita boleh revise, kita boleh review. So selalunya kita boleh buat annual review at least, okay, setahun sekali ataupun sometimes semi-annually untuk check sama ada kita punya goals tu still remain the same ataupun kita nak ubah kita punya risk punya elements. Okay, and this policy statement akan guide all the investment decision as I mentioned tadi lah. Okay, macam mana nak matchkan between the goals, the risk levels versus the actual investment yang kita nak buat kejap lagi. Alright, so we need this to be very clear so that tak ada dispute nanti between you. Sebab ingat that's why I suruh you imagine yourself dengan a client so that you can see lah, sebab kita ada agent client punya relationship yang kita kena maintain, right? So in order to avoid dispute, kita kena ada proper policy statement, and usually this policy statement must be in written ataupun documented. So once dah agree on the policy statement, okay, sebenarnya ada satu lagi lah, mungkin boleh tambah kat sini goals, acceptable, dan satu lagi maybe kita nak tengok you punya constraint, what kind of limitation that the investor wants to put, okay, ataupun some exclusion, okay, exclusion, what kind of exclusion, limitation, mungkin dia kata, okay, I don't want my money to be invested outside Malaysia. Ataupun kita boleh letaklah dalam policy statement, okay, some limitation ataupun constraints. Okay, I tak nak invest overseas. I want all my investment to be done locally sahaja, contohnya. Or the constraint lain maybe I want my investment must be syariah compliant only, contohnya. So kena specify kat dalam policy statement ni. So again, by having this policy statement, dia akan guide lah kita. Okay, kita tahu dia nak syariah compliant, so we don't invest in non-syariah compliant punya investment. So that's the importance of policy statement. Step number 2, okay, to study the current financial and economic conditions together with the forecast for the future trends. Okay, so step number 2 ni is actually the analysis part. Kita kena do some analysis. Selalunya kita akan do analysis from the country's perspective. Okay, tengok government policy yang mungkin mengekang ataupun will boost our investment. Okay, so we need to know government policy for a certain industry. And then next we look at the actual industry. Okay, kita ada banyak industri kat Malaysia ni. So we need to know what kind of industry yang kita boleh pilih or what kind of industry we need to avoid altogether. Okay, so we need to study that. And obviously the third level, okay, is actually to, kalau kita nak invest in stock, for example, we need to check the company's performance itself. And at the same time, we try to forecast what will be the performance of the company. All right, so that's the 3 level you need to analyze. Okay, cuma untuk step number 2 ni, we're gonna go in detail starting topic 4. 4 sampai 9. 4 to 9 kalau tak salah. It's actually all step 2 to study current financial and economic condition. Okay, at all 3 levels tadi lah. Okay, and once you've done the analysis, then you're going to choose and construct the portfolio. Sebab you dah buat analysis, you dah remove companies ataupun the types of investment yang tak suitable, either tak suitable dengan preference of the investor, or you dah remove potentially not profitable investment. Okay, you dah rule out, you dah buat keluar, so you tinggalkan yang possible je. Let's say daripada possible tu after a lot of analysis, tinggal 10 je yang sesuai for this customer. Adakah kita akan pilih all 10? Tak semestinya. Okay, so how to choose out of these 10? Yang mana yang akan jadi portfolio kita? So that's why step number 3 is a tool for us to determine which investment ataupun which type of instrument will be part of the portfolio. So step number 3 ni will assist us by ada method, ada 2 method kat sini nanti later on, mereka Ritz dan Sharp. So we can gunakan tool ni untuk out of this 10 kita boleh calculate, and then finally we're going to choose 3 out of 10 contohnya. Daripada 10 ni 3 yang kita akan pilih. And each components of 3 ni kita boleh assign juga, mana satu yang lagi paling besar value dia as compared to the 3. Dia tak seperti bila kita pilih 3 semua kena even, 33%, 33% contohnya. Okay, it can be 50% in one, 20% in B, and the balance 30% in C contohnya. Okay, tapi macam mana nak tahu mana satu yang 50, 20, 30? So again, the tool nanti boleh determine which types of investment will be selected and what will be the weights untuk setiap satu tu. Okay, by using the tool, kita kena kira lah, ada formula dia, steps yang kita kena buat. Then we can determine that. Dan kita boleh construct lah the portfolio together with the weight as well. Pemberat untuk setiap investment tu. And once we've done the construction of the portfolio, obviously kita kena monitor. Kita tak boleh lah dah buat portfolio, kita dah invest, kita buat tak tahu je. No, we have always to monitor. Kita kena monitor, and if required, kita kena update. Okay, kalau kita, sebab kita punya step 2 and 3 is based on forecast. And sometimes our forecast can be wrong. Nama pun forecast kan. Kita bukan ahli nujum yang kita boleh predict the future. We just forecast based on historical punya data. Kita forecast ni akan berlaku. Tapi if we see that the performance of our investment selection tadi tu not according to our plan, to our predictions, we need to revise. Kita kena ubah. Okay, we have to sell, liquidate the assets, and then we move on to other types of investment. So sometimes dekat step number 4 ni, you're going to reverse balik lah. Maybe reverse balik to step number 2 to buat some analysis balik, and then reconstruct the portfolio, step number 3, and then you have a new set of portfolio pula. Okay, then monitor lagi. Okay, then after a while, kalau dia okay, maybe you maintain. Tapi if after a while, you need to change again. Okay, you go back to step number 2, or sometimes maybe after a while, the performance of the portfolio ni is doing well. However, the investor pula kata, I need to change my objective. So you go back to step number 1. Okay, so step 1, 2, 3, 4 ni dia bukan sampai 4 dan habis, tak. They can go back to step 3, they can go back to step 2, or they can go back to step 1 altogether. right? So dia macam ni. So daripada atas ni dia bukan just flow sampai 4. They can reverse back to step 3, 2 or even step 1 depending on circumstances. Right? So dia tak fixed. So the process is quite dynamic. So you boleh reverse, you can revisit any steps back. So dia tak rigid and goes through the process of habis and then that's it. Tak. Okay, so the rest ni, I just want you to read. I dah explain verbally apa you need to have and why you need a policy statement. So, 3 benda tadi ada cakap. You need to have the objectives, you have to specify your constraints kalau ada, and also the risk level. So, 3 benda ni. So, nanti you baca and why you need policy statement. The most important part and the last one ni, to avoid any potential disagreement ataupun conflict between the client and the manager ataupun the agent tadi lah. Okay, so sorry. Kita specify the objective in terms of the risk and the return and the constraint. Macam contoh yang kita tahu tadi lah, apa benda anything that you want specify to avoid. Macam cakap tadi lah, it can be in terms of types of asset itself. You nak asset yang liquidity dia tinggi saja ke, you punya constraint you in terms of time horizon, you nak invest in short term basis saja ke, you have to specify any other factors macam preference macam cakap tadi lah. Maybe you tak nak invest overseas, mungkin you nak syariah compliant saja. So all are the constraints you need to specify. Okay, you baca the objectives, the constraints, preference. Okay, so the last part yang I nak explain for today is about the cycle of an investor. Okay, ataupun as an individual lah, in terms of their personal wealth. Okay, so imagine yourself maybe dekat sini lah kot, maybe around tak tahu umur berapa, 20, 21. So you are at this stage, okay, between now until 35 lebih kurang is the accumulation phase. Okay, fasa untuk accumulate wealth. Okay, so that's why nampak the graph ni is growing up lah. Okay, but that's not the peak. Belum sampai peak lagi, tapi technically it's a growing punya stage. This is where when you start working and you try to save up bit by bit lah every month. Okay, and here usually, especially bila you baru graduates, obviously short-term basis, you want to purchase either car ataupun rumah, whichever comes first. Okay, some people mungkin kata nak beli kereta dulu so that I can move from one place to another. Or some kata okay tak apa, I don't need a car, I need a house, but I can use public transport contohnya. So everybody will have different perceptions in terms of which one is more important than the other. Tak ada betul ataupun salah. It all depends on individuals. So this is what happened when you just start working. Okay, but for long term, always remember, nampak kat sini, the first thing dia letak adalah retirement. Imagine you just baru kerja ni, tapi you need to put the retirement in your plan at the very beginning. Okay, sebab bila you kerja, let's say umur you apa, 22, 23, whatever, and you're gonna retire at 60. So you have about 30-ish years, okay, untuk you retire. But you need to put that in your plan at the very, very beginning. Because why? Because we need the retirement fund to be big. Okay, kita tak nak masa umur 55 ni nanti baru nak terfikir pasal nak retire another 5 years to go. Right? So we need to start early. So when we talk about retirement, okay, especially for those yang will work in the private sector, okay, even in the future government sector pun kita tak sure. Maybe juga in the future government sector pun kena rely on this, which is the fund will be invested ataupun will be kept in EPF. EPF will be our source of retirement. Okay, kita akan invest dalam apa? Dalam EPF. Selalunya dia akan tolak from your own salary together with the company ataupun tempat kerja you punya contribution to that fund combined, and you're gonna keep it lah until you reach 60, right? Tolak tepi, you can withdraw some portion of your EPF juga. Okay, but the thing is, if we rely just on EPF alone, it will not be sufficient. Okay, tak cukup. Okay, EPF alone will not be sufficient. Sebab apa? Based on statistical punya reports before, okay, in EPF, bila you retire, you boleh opt either you can withdraw lump sum, you boleh keluarkan semua in one shot, okay, once you reach your retirement age. Itu satu. Or you can opt for monthly punya withdrawal. So you ask CPF untuk withdraw some of the funds to your account on monthly basis. Macam dapat gaji lah. Okay, you can request that to EPF. Okay, tetapi 90%, okay, 90% of people akan withdraw semua at one shot. Okay, very small portion je yang akan minta monthly withdrawal. Right? Sebab apa? Sebab kita dah kumpul daripada kerja 20-an ni sampai umur 60. Imagine, some people can be millions dia punya duit dalam EPF depending on dia punya gaji lah kan. Can be millions. Right? So, some, like I said lah, dia nak withdraw semua. Okay? And based on statistical report, memang 90% withdraw semua. 90% of the pencarum, those member, will withdraw every single cent dalam account. So, maknanya tinggal kosong dalam EPF. It's your right. You boleh je, tak ada masalah. You can withdraw everything because that's your right. That's your money anyway. Okay, but daripada 90% yang keluar ni, again, another 80-90% of them yang withdraw everything ni will finish all their money, okay, finish all their money within 3 years lah, 3 to 5 years. Within 3 to 5 years, dia akan habiskan semua duit yang dia dah withdraw. Ya, duit dah banyak kan, macam-macam nak buat. Ada yang nak settle hutang lah, ada yang go holiday lah, ada belanja family lah and whatnot. Okay, it's up to you. Tapi, that what happened, again, based on statistical reports. Imagine tadi you retire at 60, and after 5 years, you finish all your EPF account. Okay, so what happened after that? Dari 65 onwards, okay? In Malaysia, kita punya life expectancy jangka hayat hidup orang Malaysia, okay, on average, nowadays is about 75. It's secara purata on average. 75 is the life expectancy. Maksudnya you dijangka hidup sampai umur 75 lah, okay, based on average, right? So what happened after you finish all your savings, all your EPFs, lepas umur 65? So you have 10 years ni without any income. Okay, so that's why retirement plan ni, you need to put it here. Because selain daripada EPF, you need to create another pool of funds for your retirement. Okay, so that's why government pun ada encourage people yang kerja private to set up another pool of fund. Ada, kalau pernah dengar lah, ada private retirement scheme, PRS. So you dah ada EPF satu and then you invest in PRS, private retirement scheme. This private retirement scheme is optional punya contributions, and to encourage you lagi, government bagi you tax incentive. You dah belajar tax kan? If you invest ataupun you put your money in PRS, this certain amount of money, saya tak ingat berapa ribu, 5,000 ke 6,000, tak ingat, will be exempted. You dapat tax exemption. Okay, just to encourage you to save up in PRS. Okay, so selain daripada itu, obviously you can invest in any other forms of investment lah. Cuma macam unit trust, macam stocks. Purpose dia bukan for retirement. Okay, yang specially purpose built types of investment yang for retirement is either tadilah KWSP, memang untuk retirement. And secondly, PRS tadilah, memang built for retirement. And ada juga banks yang provide this kind of scheme of funds yang purpose dia for retirement. Okay, this is a long-term punya ni lah. Okay, so take that into your mind and then consider this for yourself. Ni I'm talking about what you need to do for yourself lah. Okay, put retirement plan at the very beginning. Okay, ada juga letak kat sini children's college. Okay, children's college. So siapa yang dah lepas tu dah kahwin dan ada anak and they plan jugalah. Okay, lepas tu umur kat sini, I don't know, 25 and above. You have your child or children and then you consider them, okay, nak masuk university nanti. So I need to put aside a certain fund so that they can go to university in the future. So cost of education is not cheap juga kan. So you kena consider lah nak hantar kat local university ke, international universities ke, what programs you want them to be enrolled. Some courses, programs can be more expensive as compared to the rest kan. So everything needs to be considered and needs to be planned. So after accumulation, they still akan grow lagi. Okay, this is the second stage in the consolidation. Okay, consolidation phase whereby this age you akan reach to the maximum just before you retire. Sampai peak before you retirement. So kat sini you punya goals akan berubah sedikit. Okay, short term maybe you focus sebab you dah kerja lama, okay, you like to enjoy yourself a bit, okay, maybe you nak travel once in a while contohnya. So you can put vacation as your short term punya goals lah. And tadi children's college is your long term punya long term goals, but now it will be your short term sebab at this age your children dah grow up and dah sampai masa untuk dia orang pula pergi universiti sekarang. Right, so obviously the requirement for the college ni akan datang during that time lah. Okay, so this is where your funds for your children's education dah mature and then you have enough money for them. And still, you're going to consider retirement as your medium or long-term plan, depending on the period lah. So once you dah reach the max, the peak period, okay, after just before your retirement, your wealth ataupun your net worth akan starts to decline. Okay, akan decline. And usually when this happens, selalunya you dah tak kerja lah by this time. Okay, you enjoy your retirement and you use up whatever amount you dah save from your early career sampailah just after your retirement. So you akan gunakan lah either for your lifestyle needs, short term again, kalau at this age you still enjoy traveling, okay, you akan pergi vacation and travel lah, or whatever kind of hobbies that you have, okay, post-retirement. Okay, sebelum ni you're very busy, right, and this time, okay, I have more time for myself, and you enjoy, I don't know, that's why kadang-kadang, sport, any sports lah, sports ke, motorcycle ke, cars ke, yang dia masa muda tak sempat nak enjoy, this is the time dia nak enjoy, right? And at the same time, gifts, okay, masa untuk memberi lah, gift to the children, or at this time around maybe dia dah ada grandchildren juga, or great grandchildren, I don't know. So this is time for them to spend for that gifting phase. Okay, spending and gifting phase will be the final stage. And we need to consider estate planning juga. Okay, estate planning ni sebenarnya kat sini pun dah boleh, kat consolidation ni pun kita dah boleh start. We can determine jugalah, okay, harta mana ni nak bagi kat siapa. Okay, for those yang nak menggunakan will as a way to give out ataupun as a part of the gifting ataupun the estate planning process, right, until the end of that person's life lah. Okay, I don't know where. Okay, so that's the cycle of an investor ataupun as an individual. Okay, majority of people akan go through this process. Okay, I think I just want to talk about that for today. Okay, sebab yang lain ni kat belakang ni nanti you baca dulu, because when we talk about asset allocation, will be there some strategies. Macam mana kita nak allocate. Macam tadi saya cakap kan, in the stage number 3 tadi kan, portfolio construction. Kita kena pecahkan, kita kena allocate our assets into different types of investment. Okay, so asset allocation is part of the process that we're going to go through throughout the semester. So nanti you baca, nanti kita akan go through again in the future for the relevant topics. So dia adalah strategi dia, ada 4 different strategies for asset allocation. Integrated, strategic, tactical and insured. Okay, setiap satu tu ada dia punya explanation. Right, and lastly is about theories. When we talk about portfolio, we have 2 theories that always we use based on Markowitz and based on Sharpe. Okay, and we have the capital market theory that we're going to talk specifically on this matter. Topic number 7, kalau tak salah, 7 or 8. So we're going to revisit this during that topic when we talk about capital market theory. Okay, what kind of assumption that we need when we do economic analysis, econometric ataupun economic analysis. Obviously, we need to make some assumption untuk for our model to works. Okay, kita kena fixkan a certain instruments ataupun a certain variable so that kita boleh buat assumption, kita boleh buat estimation lah. Okay, so in order for the estimations to work, kita kena buat some assumptions. So these are some of the assumptions yang ada lah, and kita akan go through again this one later. Right, so that's the end of topic number 1. Yang paling penting tadi is actually the process. Yeah, the 4 steps tadi tu, you need to understand the process, the 4 steps of the process. Apa yang perlu ada dalam step number 1, dari segi policy statement tu kena ada objektif dia, you need to specify the constraint, and the objektif tu kena ada the risk and the return factor juga lah. Then once you've done step number 1, dah ada policy statement, you have to do the analysis from the economic point of view, the industry, and also the company and the specific instruments. Once you've done the analysis, you need to construct the portfolio. So once you construct the portfolio, last step is to monitor and review the selection, and then you can revisit back to any other stage on the step earlier. Okay, that's the most important part. So for the next topic 2, and even topic 3 is about risk and return. Saya cakap tadi, risk and return. So topic 2 is risk and return for individual instruments. Untuk setiap satu instrumen, macam mana nak kira. What would be their measurement of risk and measurement of returns. And for topic number 3, risk and return juga, cuma in the form of the portfolio. So when we do the portfolio, we can measure back the risk and return, and we want to see the implication when we do a portfolio. Adakah akan mengurangkan the risk, and obviously what would be the return when we do the portfolio diversification. Okay. Unfortunately, again, macam last week, next Thursday, our class adalah public holiday. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I have 2 groups kan. Group yang pertama, I have a class on Monday. Okay, so Monday next week, I will have a class with them. Right, and I will cover topic 2 sajalah kot. Topic 3 tu nanti I keep for the following week. So I'm going to record that session on Monday for topic number 2, and I'm going to share that video with you guys. So you all, we don't have this kind of synchronous session untuk topic number 2. You have to rely on the video yang I record nanti lah next Monday for you to know ataupun for you to learn about topic number 2. Okay, so I will post the video in my guru. Tengoklah, selalunya letak dalam web conferencing lah. Dalam web conferencing yang you nak log in for today session ni, kan dia ada satu link that you can view. Alright, or else I akan letak juga dalam folder of topic number 2 juga. Okay, any questions for today? So puasa ni kita tak boleh buat kelas sampai 3 jam.
Yes, ada question.
Alright. Okay.
Maybe this one saya pernah dengar dia
Okay.
ada certain terms called fiat money, which is a government issued currency that is not backed up by a physical commodity such as gold and silver, but rather by the government that issued it. So for this fiat currency, does it play an important role in the investment portfolio, Doctor?
To be honest with you, all the currencies in the world now is all fiat money. It's about no currencies in the world yang memang back by gold for now lah. Okay, semua currency majority of the currencies in the world not backed by gold anymore since yang Bretton Woods punya era lah. Okay, we used to use gold as our benchmark. Maknanya semua currency yang kita print kena ada gold to back it up. Okay, but now not anymore. Kita punya currency sekarang is backed by our reserves, our foreign reserves. So duit kita yang sekarang kita punya ni, selain daripada value dia played by the demand and supply, by demand and supply of the traders, and also by the perception of the investors. Duit kita sebenarnya backed by foreign reserves. Bank negara, central bank, simpan duit ataupun keep foreign reserve, simpan dalam reserve dekat overseas lah, as foreign account. And our currency kena float dengan how much foreign reserve we have. So kalau reserve kita berkurang kan, so our currency will decline in values and whatnot lah, together and vice versa. So that's why kalau you perasan dulu pernah satu isu bila kita back our money, maknanya kita kekal, kita tambat kita punya currency with US dollars that time. If you want to maintain a certain exchange, we need to ensure the currency, the foreign reserve to maintain at a certain values lah. So bila decline in values, government kena pump money dekat foreign reserve in order to make it consistent, the values. So ada pros and cons kat situ lah. So going back to your question, adakah make a role in terms of investment decisions? This is one of the assumption when we do analysis. Kita kena assume that the value of our money itu will remain constant. Okay, some assumption, satunya the value of our currency. Kita maknanya currency exchange, the fluctuation tu kita akan disregard. Kita akan assume dia remain constant. That's number one. And okay, satu lagi, in terms of the rates pun kita akan assume the rate will remain constant juga. So there are a few things yang kita kena assume when we do analysis. Sebab kalau kita make it a dynamic punya approach, it will be very complicated punya model. So yeah, so to answer your question, kita akan assume dia sama je, tak ada perubahan. Right, any other question? Okay, so if there's no other questions, thank you very much. So I'm gonna see you guys the week after. Minggu depan I will check the calendar. Next week, Thursday is a public holiday for Hari Raya kan. So the following week 18. So for the week of 18 though, okay, we're gonna still gonna use Webex untuk kita punya kelas untuk minggu tu. Okay, untuk minggu tu sahaja. So we are going to see face to face on the 25th of April. Sebenarnya 25 bulan 4 tu barulah kita akan go to our class untuk conduct our face to face session. So maknanya next week is a public holiday, tak ada. So the following week we're gonna still use Webex untuk kita punya kelas. The next week lepas tu, the 25th of April yang kita akan baru jumpa face to face lah in class. Okay, so hope everyone take note of this. So, jangan datang on the 18 tu kat kelas. Boleh je datang kat kelas, then you go masuk dalam Webex on your device lah, on the 18 tu. Alright, so thank you very much. So I'll see you guys on our next session on the 18th via Webex as well. Alright, enjoy the rest of your day, and I wish you Selamat Hari Raya as well next week, and enjoy your holidays. Alright, Assalamualaikum and see you later.
Selamat Raya and thank you, Doctor.
Selamat Raya. Thank you, Doktor.
Thank you, Doktor. Selamat Hari Raya.
Alright, thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay.